The prophecy of the servant in Isaiah 42 and the mention of the Paraclete or Spirit of Truth in John 16:13 are believed to refer to the prophet like Moses, foretold in Deuteronomy 18:18. Scholars studying the Dead Sea Scrolls have identified this figure as a prophetic Messiah or Messianic prophet. This new Moses, as prophesied by Moses, elaborated by Isaiah, proclaimed by Jesus, and awaited by the Samaritans, is understood by Muslims to be none other than the Prophet of Islam. The Qur'an testifies to this in Sura 7 verse 157, which states, "Those who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whom they find written in what they have of the Torah and the Gospel, who enjoins upon them what is right and forbids them what is wrong, and makes lawful for them the good things, and prohibits for them the evil, and relieves them of their burden and the shackles which were upon them. So they who have believed in him, honored him, supported him, and followed the light which was sent down with him, it is they who will be successful." Muslims believe that Muhammad fulfills the characteristics of this prophesied figure, one who would guide humanity towards righteousness and truth. Connections in the Gospel of John. Several verses in the Gospel of John provide additional evidence of this awaited figure. 1. John 1:21. When John the Baptist is questioned, he is asked, "Are you the prophet?" This question indicates that there was an expectation among the Jewish people of a prophet who was distinct from the Messiah. Muslims interpret this figure as Muhammad, the prophet like Moses foretold in Deuteronomy 18:18. 2. John 6:14. After witnessing Jesus' miracle of feeding the 5,000, the people say, "This is truly the prophet who is to come into the world." This statement reflects a continuing expectation of a prophet who would fulfill the role outlined in Deuteronomy 18:18, and Muslims connect this expectation to Muhammad. 3. John 7:40. During Jesus' ministry, some of the crowd exclaim, "This is truly the prophet." This again highlights the anticipation of a prophet who would come after Jesus. Muslims interpret these statements as pointing to Muhammad, who they believe completed the prophetic mission initiated by Moses and proclaimed by Jesus. The Jewish expectation of a prophet, as seen in John 1:21, John 6:14 and John 7:40, is closely connected to the Paraclete described by Jesus in John 16:13. Both figures are portrayed as divinely guided messengers who convey God's words and truth to humanity. Muslims interpret these passages as consistent with the Islamic understanding of Muhammad as the fulfillment of Deuteronomy 18:18, completing the prophetic mission initiated by Moses and carried forward by Jesus. In this view, the Paraclete is not the Holy Spirit, but rather a human prophet who fulfills these biblical prophecies. It is significant to note that nowhere in the Gospels does Jesus explicitly claim to be the prophet predicted by Moses in Deuteronomy 18:18. Instead, his mission is often described in terms that align more closely with his role as the Messiah. This distinction leaves open the possibility of another figure fulfilling the role of the prophet like Moses, as anticipated in Jewish and Samaritan traditions, and interpreted by Muslims to refer to Muhammad. Bridging religious traditions. The connection between these religious texts highlights a common thread running through different faith traditions. The prophecies in Deuteronomy, Isaiah, and the Gospel of John, along with the confirmation in the Qur'an, point to a promised figure who will guide people toward righteousness and truth. The recognition of Muhammad as this prophesied figure serves as a bridge between the Abrahamic faiths, emphasizing shared values of morality, spirituality, and devotion to God. By identifying Muhammad as the prophet foretold in the Torah and Gospel, Muslims find confirmation of their faith within earlier scriptures, fostering a deeper sense of continuity and shared spiritual heritage among the monotheistic traditions.